Greetings everyone, Lights and Gear has returned with another flashlight review. And today I have something from Acebeam. The E75 has reached my table of scrutiny today. This is a very attractive looking light which uses a 21700 lithium battery. So with that you can imagine that it has good output and a reasonable amount of runtime. And Acebeam does have some quality lights, so we know that they'll be of well, good quality. So here you go with the E75, which from the box tells you right away that it uses 4 LEDs. So it's one of those lights that has a nice uniform beam and is more flood than throw, and that's often nice. This light is also, the color temperature, I should say, is of the neutral variety, so it's not a cool white. And has the Type-C charging for USB charging, Type-C cable. It also has a magnetic tail cap, and 2 meters underwater is the waterproof rating. And as it says here, has the 4 times 5000K high CRI 90 LEDs. Here are a couple of the features as listed on the back, which you can peruse here for a couple of moments, some of which I've already mentioned here a couple of moments ago. So inside the box, we'll go ahead and pull out the manual. That's right there. And voila! Here is the flashlight itself, along with a lanyard, some spare O-rings, and here's your USB-C charging cable. So those are your accessories. The battery it also comes with is already inside the light. So I'll show you that in a moment. But first things first, here is the flashlight. It is of reasonable length, but it's not too long and not too short. And the pocket clip is extremely tough and extremely tight. And as you can see, it's already screwed on here. The USB charging port is atop of the clip. And there is your charging port. And the flap here seals down nicely over the port, so no problems there with any water ingress or anything like that. Now the light has reasonably good grip on it here. The body isn't terribly aggressive. It's rather smooth to the touch, but you have some fins up here, most likely probably for some heat dispersion. And here is your bezeled head, crenellated bezel, I guess, if you will. And here are your 4 LEDs, which all perform very nicely together. Your switch is right here on the side, and that is the only switch on the light. As I said before, the tail cap is magnetic. So anything you affix it to metal-wise, it will stick, and anything of that nature will affix to the bottom. This is a very strong magnet, I might add as well, since the light, of course, you know, does have a little bit of weight to it, being a 21700. So the base needs to be pretty strong in order to hold its own weight against certain surfaces. The battery, as I said, is inside, and there you are. There's the tail cap in there, and some nice threading here on the base as well. So here's your battery, the Acebeam 5000 mAh 21700. You can of course use a different 21700 if you choose, but this is what they supply. So in the interim, if you're charging this battery and you don't want to charge it inside the light but use an external charger to charge it, then of course you can use a secondary 21700. So I'll show you how the charging works here in due course. So when you turn the light on, you'll see something rather interesting. Voila! You get these green LEDs around the edge of the switch, and these actually stay green the whole time the light is on. So if you're changing modes outside in the dark, then well, you wouldn't be doing it in the daylight, but you won't have any problem finding the switch for obvious reasons. And as soon as you click the switch off, the lights go out. Now these are basically your battery indicator as well, but they stay green until the battery gets down to almost 20%. So it's not like you'll be given a whole lot of warning ahead of time how low your battery is getting, at least according to these, because they'll be green for a heck of a long time. And they do flash red once the battery gets below, I think it's 20%. As far as the charging is concerned, that's what happens when you plug the USB in to charge the battery. Maybe we can quickly demonstrate that right here. I do have a USB cable. So theoretically, if I plug this in, there you go, this starts flashing in red. So that's what it does when it indicates that the battery is getting low, and this is what it does while the battery is charging internally. And as soon as it finishes the charge, they'll turn green. And as you can see, if you're so inclined, you can also use the light while it's charging. But that's your charging indicator, and it's kind of cool. And if you're in the dark, it's kind of red and flashing. So basically your operation is pretty much like a lot of other lights, but let me first give you the particulars. So you've got your basic modes of low, and there's two medium modes, and then there's high, turbo, and there's also moonlight. So when you're sequencing through the modes, it'll go low, medium 1, medium 2, and high. And then turbo and moonlight are hidden. And as you can see from the outputs here, your turbo is 3,000 lumens, but that'll pretty much only give you that output for about 1 minute before it ramps down to about 1,000 lumens. And that'll stay up there for about an hour and 40 minutes. And then on high, you'll have 1,000 lumens, and that'll be for about an hour and 45 minutes before it ramps down to 150 lumens. Medium 2 is 450, medium 1 is 150, and low is 30, and then you have your moonlight at 1 lumen. And then there's strobe. Like a lot of standard lights, it has a pretty standard sequencing. I believe I'm in low right now, so of course if I press and hold, it'll ramp through all the modes and go down. So there's low, medium, medium, and high. And a double click will get me turbo at any time at all, and a triple click, oh pardon me, there we go, double click is turbo 1, 2, 3, and a triple click is strobe, as you would imagine. And if I double click again, I'll simply go back to where I was before, and a single click will turn it off. Now if you want the moonlight mode, then you'll press and hold from the off position, and there's moonlight, which is so low you can't even see it in this light, but the LEDs are lit up there, as you can see. Let me turn the light off over here, and we'll get a better representation of moonlight. Oh, still have another light over here. There we go. So here's our moonlight, and it's only, what, 1 lumen? So in pitch darkness, it'll do exactly what you need to do with whatever is in front of you. So there's your moonlight. And it's a nice beam, if you can even tell from the table here. It's a nice clean beam. It has rather a centralized spot, which goes out to some nice flooded spill. So you don't have any weird things or weird colors. As I say, this LED is a neutral white, so it has a nice it has a nice neutral tone to it, but the camera doesn't exactly depict that too well. It looks more white in the camera than neutral. But as we pan out here, there's the wall. So there's your basic beam. And this is moonlight again. So if I press and hold, I'll be at low. So here's low. And here's medium 1. And here's medium 2. And here's high. And a double click will go up to turbo. And there's your turbo, which is reasonably impressive outside. I'll get to the outdoor pics here in a second or two. And then of course if I press and hold again, I'll go right back down to low. So those are your basic modes. Triple click again, of course, is strobe. And another click will take you back to where you were before. And we're back down to low right now. So it has a nice clean beam, a nice color tint. As I'm playing around with the modes there and going up to turbo and high, the head starts to get a little bit warm, but not overly so. But of course there's lots of light to hold on to here, so you won't have a problem with it. Even if it does get hot, you can just you won't be holding on to the bezel anyway while it's hot. And of course your green LED is lit up the entire time. Let me do a quick outdoor outdoor demonstration here for the shots that I took earlier with that. So let's take a look at those right now. The Acebeam E75 is a nice pocket light, and of course attaching it to a bug bag or a sack or a knapsack or anything else like that for camping, hiking, and trailing and so forth, it will certainly do you for whatever you need to do in that regard. Acebeam was kind enough to send me the light to take a look at, and you can follow the link below in the description to pick one up. If you have any questions or comments on the video, of course, let me know below and we'll talk about it that way. You can also check out the full review, of course, of the E75 on my website at lightsandgear.com, and the link below is in the description. So take a hike over there and see what else I say about it in the review. And again, if you have any questions or comments here, leave those below. Thanks to Acebeam for providing the light for review, and that's it for today for the Acebeam E75. Very nice light for whatever you need a very nice light for. Thanks for watching today. You take care, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.